I'm going to be opening 200ml worth of eclectic implings in order to complete 1000 medium clues. Whilst it's nice that medium clues can reward you with expensive ranger boots, the goal is actually to receive as many master clue scrolls as possible. There's a 1 in 30 chance of receiving one each time you open a medium clue casket. Now, before you tear me apart in the comments for hyping up the simple act of completing a master clue, let me first introduce you to the account I'll be doing this on. This is ChopChop. He's got 76 hit points and no other combat stats. It's like if one day a skiller decided to become a punching bag. With that being said, the nature of this account will result in various difficulties completing both the medium and master clues. Any clue scroll step that takes me into Mauritania I can't do, since it requires the Priest in Peril quest, which rewards you with prayer XP. Emote clues that need me to equip any items with level requirements are also out the window, and there's plenty more examples of this, but we'll get to them later on. In total, these restrictions reduce the number of medium clue steps I can do from 165 down to 123, which might not sound too bad, but since each of these clues takes between 3 and 5 steps to complete, getting a single one of these bad steps means I have to abandon the entire clue. But wait, there's more. The end goal is not only to obtain master clue caskets, which have the chance to reward you with some of the most expensive items in the game, but also to try and kill the mimic boss. Each master clue casket you have a 1 in 15 chance of getting to fight it. It'll be quite the challenge on a level 19 combat account. Opening eclectic implings is without a doubt the fastest way of obtaining medium clues. It's a 1 in 25 chance each time you open one. That being said, opening 60,000 of these definitely took a while, so a considerable amount of time was spent just obtaining the clue scrolls, not even completing them. Clue scrolls when dropped on the floor last an hour before despawning. This allows you to stockpile them on the ground like you can see here, ready for you to pick up and complete back to back. The secondary benefit to this is that if you complete 3 steps of one clue scroll, it considers every clue scroll to have 3 steps completed. Unfortunately, this doesn't mean 100 clue scrolls complete at the same time, but it does mean if I receive a step I can't complete, then I can discard that clue and continue my progress with another one. So this is going to require I destroy a massive amount of clue scrolls, simply because ChopChop can't complete certain steps, but to me, it's gonna be worth it. Before I began, I did do some preparation which involved completing or partially completing various quests, as they were needed for certain clue scroll steps. This included starting Tree Gnome Village for a shortcut through the maze, starting Waterfall Quest to access the spot halfway down the river, completing Rat Catchers to unlock a single music track, and I absolutely hate that quest, I can't lie. I got the ability to craft an Eternal Slayer ring for easy access to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, and last but not least, I needed to progress a quest I'd started over 5 years ago, almost but not fully completing Dragon Slayer. I made my way through Melzar's maze, repaired the ship, all just to get access to Crandor Island for 2 clue scroll steps. Again, every additional step I can do is a massive help. I won't bore you with hours and hours of completing clue scrolls, but my general method was to obtain and drop between 25 and 50 of them, complete as many as I could, destroy the ones that I couldn't, and then repeat the process until I'd successfully done 1000. Of the 165 possible steps, 11 of them require you to kill an NPC to complete the clue. To obtain a key, you had to kill anything from a man to a monk, a guard, and even a chicken. And whilst I could use poison dynamite to deal damage without gaining experience, the amount of time this takes in comparison to other steps was just too long. I decided it was a better use of my time to abandon these clues and simply start another. It also felt a bit messed up exploding a chicken with dynamite just for a treasure hunt. 1000 medium clue caskets later, and it's finally time for the dopamine. As a reminder, the chance of seeing ranger boots from a casket is 1 in 283.6, and the master clue scroll chance is a lovely 1 in 30. My starting number of collection log slots before opening these clues was 50, so we'll see how many additional slots I end up with at the end. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the casket opening. Casket 42 was the first set of boots, though it's more accurate to say the spiked manacles are the complete opposite of boots entirely. For number 100, I received the guaranteed scroll case that increases my medium clue scroll cap by 1, letting me stack 3 of the scroll boxes at once. On Casket 140, I struck gold with a pair of ranger boots. I'm sorry to every Iron Man account that's gone dry obtaining these. 2 minutes later, and it's another pair for ChopChop. Not a bad start to this opening whatsoever, and it's pretty amusing seeing the casket loot go from 5k to 36 mil. Golden climbing boots sound fancy, but are definitely one of the cheaper sets of boots you can receive, but I can't really complain given the 2 sets of ranger boots already. Clue 210 got me one of the best cosmetics in the game, the cat mask. Not worth any money whatsoever, but maybe this is ChopChop's new look. The second scroll case at 250 caskets bumped the scroll box capacity up to 4. These aren't quite as important on this account where I'm happy to buy eclectics, but I'm sure it's useful for other people. Not a rare item, but these Nada teleports cost 50k each, so every now and then a pathetic looking casket is actually worth quite a bit of money. At Casket 355, I got the Holy Sandals. Once again, they're not rangers, but still nice to get. 400 medium clue completions earned me the final guaranteed item, the Clueless Scroll. A cute indicator to other players that I've completed at least 400 medium clues. Halfway through the 1000 caskets, and here's how the collection log currently looks. I've already obtained 97 out of 115 of the medium clue uniques, and the ranger boots are the set of boots I've received the most of so far, despite them all being the same drop rate. I got wizard boots at casket 589, so I've now gotten at least one of each type of the boots. Sadly, I can't wear them. Ranger boots number 3, clocked in at casket 632, meaning I'd now gotten over 100 mil worth of ranger boots from opening these caskets so far. And I'm so sorry because less than 5 minutes later I made another 36 mil with the 4th pair of ranger boots. This was turning out to be a very good day for ChopChop. Speeding through the remaining caskets, I did pick up 3 more sets of the spiked manacles and 1 more of the climbing boots. All the while my stack of master clues was growing. Every single one you see on the floor was a step I could complete, so things were looking pretty good. With so many medium clues completed, the number of collection log slots I was gaining had also slowed right down. A big crowd of my friends had gathered to watch the opening, and I'd like to apologize to all of them for spamming the clan chat for over an hour. And with that, the 1000th casket was opened, and I would say it was quite a success. With each type of boots having the same drop rate, I could have easily ended up with only 1 pair of ranger boots. But instead, I'm finishing this opening with 4 of them, for a total loot tab of 179 mil. I also got 161 collection log slots from it, and was 4 items off completing the entirety of the medium clue log. I did spend 193 mil on the implings, so based on the clue scroll loot, I was actually at a 14 mil loss. Thankfully though, I'd also saved the rest of the loot I'd gotten when opening them. This loot tab looks a bit random, but totaling 72.5 mil, I'm really not complaining. This meant I ended up with 58.5 mil of profit, and considering I had to drop over 1,300 of the medium clues, I'd say this worked out pretty well. Now, the show's not over yet, because I have at least 30 master clues still to complete, and so I bought all the random items Follow the Bard asks for in his clue steps, then got into my best gear, ready to try my hardest to work through as many of these master clues as I could. The triple cryptic steps that require you to do 3 different sub-steps have a unique interaction. Should you come across one with easy to complete steps, you can use it to progress steps from other clue scrolls you can't or don't want to complete. You obtain the clue scraps from the steps you can do, swap out your master clue, and then combine the scraps to skip doing the bad steps entirely. Incredibly useful for an account like ChopChop. Sherlock steps were surprisingly rough despite me having a lot of skills level 99. The location of some of the activities I just didn't have access to. as well as I just never got around to getting the woodcutting, fishing, or mining skilling outfits, so that ruled out a few of the clue steps. As long as a coordinate clue was in a spot I had access to, I was perfectly able to complete it. All I had to do was take down the cabbage mage that spawns and dig in the location again to progress. The first time I did this, I just had some friends nearby casting vengeance on me to speed up the damage, and it worked pretty well. But it also turns out that just waiting for 10 minutes in a safe spot also lets you complete the step, as the cabbage mage eventually despawns and it considers you to have killed him. So, if you're ever low on food and don't want to die to the cabbage man, just hide for 10 minutes and you win. Last but not least, quite possibly the toughest part of completing master clues on this account are the Jorrel steps, which use a strange device to locate your dig location by means of hot and cold prompts. The only issue here is I can't complete the quest that gives you the strange device without ruining my account. You might be thinking it's therefore impossible to complete these steps, when in fact I just have to individually take these 20 clues to the 102 possible dig locations and blind dig my way around the entire game, whilst also hoping it's not in a location I can't access. This took a bit of time, but it went surprisingly well. Doing so resulted in more successful master clue completions, so it was worth it. In total, I was able to get 6 master clues completed, and whilst it's not the largest amount, I'm still very happy I was even able to complete 1. I did also receive what I'd hoped for, the opportunity to take on the Mimic boss, a level 186 enemy that spawns a 3rd Age warrior, ranger, and mage during the fight. And ChopChop here was going to have to fight them all on his own. It's an instanced fight, so no one can help, and I won't be able to resupply myself either. As bosses go, it isn't the most complex to kill, but being on an account where I can't even attack enemies, I'm at a slight disadvantage. In order to kill the boss, I was going to have to get creative. Many months ago, when I was completing an unrelated quest called the Heart of Darkness, I had to kill the Amoxliatl. Quite a tough enemy for an account like mine, but I was able to do so by using the Ring of Suffering to reflect damage the boss was dealing right back at it. The most efficient attack to reflect was the floor spikes spawned by the boss. They deal damage every tick, and it could be recoiled back. After attempting this a few times, I was actually successful in defeating the boss. Which brings me back to the Mimic. I'm going to make use of a similar mechanic to try the same thing, stepping under the boss itself, intentionally taking damage and reflecting it back to the Mimic, stepping out from under it to reset the damage as it starts with 1s and 2s but quickly reaches 6 damage per game tick. The only other issue was eventually the trio of 3rd Age minions would spawn, resulting in ChopChop having to tank the damage from them as well. The melee minion could be safe spotted using the boss, but there was no escape from the range and mage minions. Nevertheless, with a beautiful display of staying alive and tanking a silly amount of damage, the Mimic died and I could claim my reward. This time round, the Master Clue loot was pretty disappointing, but at the very least I was able to receive the Mimic scroll box, allowing me to stack 1 extra clue scroll per tier, as well as the completion of the Mimic's only combat achievement, a small contribution towards obtaining the hard tier of CAs on ChopChop. But that's for another day. I'm very happy with the outcome of this clue scroll journey, and pleasantly surprised I was able to take down the Mimic. When they first announced how you'd be able to increase the number of scroll boxes you can have, I was initially sad, thinking the Mimic requirement was going to be a brick wall, but ChopChop clearly had no problem smashing through it. I could see myself trying this again with easy and hard clues in the future, but I have so many different goals and plans for this account, and the list just keeps getting longer and longer. Sorry it took so long to get this video out. I know I'm rather slow with making videos, so I appreciate everyone's patience. And hey, if you made it to the end of the video and aren't sick of me yet, consider subscribing. Let me know what you thought of this video and what you'd like to see next. I just really have fun playing this account and love to share all the weird things I do on it. See you next time.